let's say if a man wants to reach 100% and he has a woman, and his money's not quite there, what would you instill in this man? Like, what should he be able to pay? You know what's kind of crazy? I gotta ask this. It's one of the biggest talks I still hear to this very day. The man should provide, be able to pay for the most significant bill. True or false? So the most significant bill is the mortgage, usually.
I said that's true.
True? Okay. So, with that being said, it's a position, if a man can only afford to provide for the household and not necessarily other bills, is he on a great start, or like, how would I say this? Would he be on a great start to being 100% man? Because most men...
Yeah, you got to start from somewhere.
Yeah, start from somewhere. Because most men look at it like, hey, look, I'm still trying to get funds to, fund my ambitions to the side. I remember one time, I'm going to go ahead and pitch out my fucking story. I had asked, saw this young lady, woman at one time, we was talking, I said, hey, look, what would you think about if I said, hey, would you mind if I cover 75% of the household, and so I can keep 25% to the side so I can find acquisitions, different avenues and streams of income that I can invest into? And her idea was, no. She was like, I'd rather you provide 100% and you come and ask me for the money. Now, I might have spoke about it briefly on a podcast before, but to me at the same time, I was like, yo, if I'm trying to get something going, and I'm, you utilizing all my money to make sure everything is covered for the house, coming to you and ask for money, it can also fuck with a man's pride sometimes. Or a woman can always leverage that back and be like, yeah, but you had to ask me. Don't forget, who'd you have to ask for money in order to get your business established, or how to make things. That's what kind of eats me up sometimes, is knowing that it's your intelligence, your network, your sophistication, your hard hours, and you're providing for everything else, but you're not able to kickstart your business. So where you ask for the money that's being lended, and it actually helps, everything takes off, and you split. It can eat your conscience on a level like, well, she did help, but hey, I was still providing. But they never look at that part. They never look at the part that, Jay, you did everything that you're supposed to as a man, but you wasn't there enough to get stuff kickstarted on the side. So I remember just to wrap it up, I know you're ready to attack. I just asked the woman, I said, hey, what is it about it that it bothers you that that 75% factor? Most people get 50-50, but a person offers 75%. I said, what's really getting to you? She said, I'd rather have control of the finances, honestly. So I was like, so you're in love with power? She was like, yes. That was the main purpose. Go ahead.
Woo! 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 Oh, shit. Okay, so let's do it like this. If you deal with an incompetent man that don't know how to pay his bills, he don't have the time for that, he don't know how to do anything, and he asks you for that assistance, or you see the need to step up in that situation, fine. That's the kind of relationship you have with that guy. Right. But when you come across a man that is competent, that can pay his own bills, that know how to manage his own money in his bank accounts, and he don't need that type of assistance, fall the fuck back. That's not a normal role for a woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's no specific roles that's going to fit every single relationship. So if you want that kind of control, by any means, get you a average thinking ass man that can't take care of shit, that needs you in those kind of ways so you can feel appreciated.
Your Pookie Ray Ray.
You know what I'm saying? They would love it.
They would love it.
Probably even put some shit in your name since you like control so much.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Man, look, Pookie Ray Ray just know to hit that ass up and ask for shit for you.
And if you want power, you can't have power without work.
Mm-hmm.
Being lazy, if you want that kind of power and control, you got to put in work for it. The man don't owe you that. See, this old school phrase of his money is our money and my money is my money is what got y'all thinking like that. Right?
Sure.
Because if you are a family and a unit, everything that comes into that household is the family's. You don't come before the family. But if the man put himself before the family, get him some side poom poom or something, he gonna lose his family because he was disloyal to his family. But what are you when you put yourself before the family on every level?
Man, I got a quick story. Quick story. I want you to stay right there.
Go ahead.
Quick story. 50 Cent said in his book, he said his grandpops used to come home every Friday. He would hand his wife the check, and he didn't understand it at first. And he said, and a couple of years later on, he finally actually said, "Hey, well, why did you keep handing her the check?" He said, "Women like to see know what you make, so they know you're not hiding nothing. That way, I handed her the check. She knows exactly what I'm getting. She has to come up with a reasonable answer as to why she might want to overspend these overuses of expenses to the check that she's getting weekly." So basically, he put it in her face to a point where there's no hiding it, there's denying it, and it wasn't my money. Technically, it was him because he was a provider. Like they didn't say. I don't recall from the book that said the grandmother was working. Right. But notice that she never reached over like, yo, okay, well, let me take some out and do something for me. No, it was like, okay, I know what he's getting, so we got to utilize what he got for the house. That's how shit is.
Teamwork.
Now go ahead, go back.
Well, I mean, that's really it. The whole concept is teamwork. If you want to see, some women want a man that's for them, but they still want to be for themselves.
Oh, I don't like that.
And that's a huge problem because now you're going to abuse this 100% man. And then once he go through that abuse, he's probably not going to be 100% to be 100% man for somebody else. No, his trust value is going to go down.
But you said 100% man on probably replacing people.
No doubt, true. But a lot of dudes are the way they are because of the experiences that they had.
True.
And you know what I'm saying?
I'm still healing for some shit.
Right.
So look, I'll put that on camera.
But on the flip side, you know, I gotta play devil's advocate. There are some women that are majority provider in their relationships, and there are some women that pretty much run the relationship because they put in the work to have that status. So relationships are very complex and diverse. There's no one set of rules that's going to work for everybody. So like I say, there are women who pull that load and put in that work, and if they run their household, they put in the work to do so. That's not particularly what we're enforcing here within this conversation, but hey, some shit is different for a lot of people. You got some dudes that's at home waiting on her to come home with the paycheck so they can see what she making.
Yeah, look, she bring on, and he gonna put on a rap song. She bring me on the bacon. You thinking he's banging it up, trapping and everything?
He drop off at work, pick up from work in her car. You know what I'm saying?
Baby boy 3.0, man. Look, now that's like as much as we talk about that, y'all gotta understand. Like we still experiencing that like daily. You know what I'm saying? I'm 30, Ace is still in his 20s for for a little bit. He lived by 40 though, but
29, baby. 29, baby.
Yeah, he's like 5 years old. But anyway.
Hey man, everybody need to know that.
It's alright, man. But let's go ahead and get back on the subject. But yeah, that's really a big difference, right? I've seen some women get so conditioned to a point where the man has done everything and they lead a relationship. Like, I ain't used to this. It's the need that somebody can latch onto them that they crave versus a person who can just like do everything on that show outstanding qualities. I had somebody I came across told me, this person has crazy. This is crazy. Person has 3 kids, right? 3 kids. Baby daddy was incarcerated, and there was a man that was interested in the woman regardless of all that scenario, right? He would come, make sure everything was straight. He would pay the woman's bills. He would say, hey, look, when you go visit their dad next time, take my truck to the prison. I'm like, holy shit. So she said she would get home. He would fold all the clothes, even the kids' clothes. And she said one time she broke down crying, because she never experienced a man doing something like that. You got to understand, this man is accepted that you have 3 kids at the same time. she wasn't used to that type of man being around, regardless of her having children, that it felt abnormal to her that she had to break it off. And I'd be like, damn, that's crazy. Like, that's what I'm saying. When you actually experience some of these men, some of these women don't know how to accept it, or know how to fall back. And that's why when it comes to these relationships, sometimes I try to stay out of the relationship post, but you know, it's one of them things where they say you try to stay in your lane, but sometimes you can help to get into another lane. But it's some of them scenarios. We don't talk about that as much when it comes to these women who leave great quality dudes because they still, I don't know what it is, trauma, whatever you want to call it, some bullshit, for whatever it is, like the dependency. I don't know what it is. Like, how do some of y'all have this idea in mind of what kind of man y'all want? Then when y'all get them, y'all know how to appreciate them. And that's exactly what the person that ended up saying. They said, I did not know how to appreciate that type of man.
Man, bro. Like, shit, that's a good one. I know a lot of women that have conversations, and believe it or not, that's a high point in the conversations. It stems from maybe trauma, and we could say trauma produces false expectations and standards, and it also devalues human beings because trauma would have you envisioning things that is like Walt Disney kind of shit. So when the reality comes, it's hard to separate Walt Disney from the reality because the trauma is setting these standards and expectations so high. But it's like once you obtain a certain level of happiness within self, your appreciation value for people, it just automatically grows. You can appreciate people for who they are and what they bring to the table, and you can see it clearly. But if you're still looking through it through the eyes of a child that's, you know what I'm saying, not thinking too clearly, you still become that person as an adult. So that's the number one thing that you have to focus on in that situation. If you do come across, and there's some women that come across a good man and he's so good that it hurts their feelings. Literally, they break down and they like, I just don't know why you're doing all this.
Yeah.
And we see it in movies, we see it all the time. It's like, if you love yourself good enough to value yourself, you can believe that someone can value you for you. But if you struggle within yourself, you won't be able to accept that kind of concept and love from somebody else because if you don't trust yourself, you can't trust nobody else. So these kind of men kind of also have to know, are you dealing with a broken woman?
Whew.
And if you can honestly answer that question, that should give you a GPS system on how you go about these kind of situations. You can't blame a broken woman for having value issues with you because she's broken. Now, if a woman's not broken, and that's another question.
I'm about to say,
how do you even know if your woman broken or not? So many layers to this shit.
Sometimes you can tell people are broken by the activities, man. Like, I look, I don't care what nobody says. When you overvalue yourself, sometimes you've been broken. And the reason why I say that is because you never knew how to value yourself, so now you're aiming for a high number. So in my own quotas, if we want to, I said, don't set a value so high that you can't afford and nobody can reach. It doesn't make sense. And I be running into that all the time. Like, I'm gonna talk to this woman not too long. I'm like, and I was like, look, I need to talk to a lot of women. But anyway, let's get back. It just amazed me, like, when we was talking and she was like, yeah, I didn't know what my value was back then. Now I know I'm a wife. I know I should be doing this, and I know type of man should be able to provide this. And I'm like, God damn. But your baby daddy wasn't shit. But sometimes when Kevin Samuels said like, hey, look, you're only gonna get as high as your baby daddy. I sometimes do believe that, man. Like, it's been proven a lot. Like, me personally, I rarely seen women who actually exceeded past their baby daddy, like, type of level. They're usually gonna date the same type of fucking men over and over and over and over. But let me get back on task. as I said, that value system is very powerful because you can't overvalue. Like I said, my quote, man, my quote. I was thinking about that. You can't overvalue yourself that you can't even afford it, or nobody can reach it. It just sounds impossible. But to get back to this 100% man situation, as you can see, we're free flowing. I literally watched a video not too long ago, earlier today, and women are what they say, hypergamous. They're hypergamous. And this dude had basically set up like a little fake date or whatever, and he was dating this woman for X amount of time. She met up with another dude that was part of the cast that was going to catch the woman in act. The man that was part of the cast who met up with the woman and said, "Hey, we met. We linked up on Tinder." What they did was take her Tinder profile and Photoshop it to his Tinder profile and made it look like they linked together. This is how you get things to fall into place. And she checked her Tinder. She's like, "No, we didn't match, but whatever." So the guys let her know, like, "Hey, look, I have options. You have options. I'm gonna need you to delete your Tinder if we're gonna talk." Tell me why she had a Tinder the whole time she had a man. And when she got caught, she said, "Look, I gotta be honest with you. You're not able to provide for me like he is." And it was funny because the whole thing was made up. He just basically talked that.
It's a he.
It was a dude.
She said he.
Yeah, and she was with the dude. Yeah. The dude set it up to catch his woman to see what was going on.
Yeah.
She wouldn't even delete the Tinder for the man she was with the whole time. But the man she ended up meeting for that day, she deleted it on spot on camera. And I was like, yo, as we said, that 100% man role comes into play. Every woman is not gonna wait for you to get to that level, and you gotta accept that too. That's one of the main things is how you come out the gate. Establish your standards, your boundaries, and your requirements. I'm gonna always keep saying those three. It's how you get anything in life. I let women know up front before they get involved with me. I said, "Hey, look, can you accept no? Because I will say no." And that's one thing women don't want to hear is somebody actually denying them shit.
Damn. Damn, man. There's a lot of cooking. Shit. I guess a question on that would be, I go for a Hail Mary. Is any of this genuine in relationships? Or is it all
transactional?
Roles, transactional.
It's definitely roles. So okay, let me do this. Since it's roles, it's men and women equal.
Equal? That's it's like red pill, blue pill shit.
It is. But at the same time, when it comes to 100% man,
equol.
Are you playing roles? You're playing roles, right?
I believe equally opposite.
I believe equally opposite. Oh, okay, cool. But
I know Kevin Samuels don't believe that, but he's man, and it's not superior in fashion. I get the leader aspect, but I also do believe women can lead in their own type of way, and that depends on what kind of woman, and that also goes back to what kind of woman.
He says women can lead you best when they're in a feminine position.
Correct.
I do believe that.
Correct.
I had a woman rub my arms and just give me some nice conversation. I felt like a fuking god. She was just rubbing my arms, just telling me, "Look, you're gonna be powerful. You're gonna." Let's what I'm saying. Could feel like stroking my ego.
The energy is so powerful, even void of the femininity within the energy. Also remember Alexander the Great. He used that same energy in his homosexual military, to where the men were fighting for their lovers, so they fought extra harder. It was a war tactic. So the concept of love, it becomes more powerful with the feminine energy, no doubt, but the energy within itself is powerful. So that's how certain militaries became powerful, because if the soldier was fighting for his lover on the other side, you're not gonna win that fight.
Yeah.
He fighting for something, and then he probably got a family at home that he got to get back to. So you're not gonna win that fight. He fighting for multiple families, and there's other family around inside him. So you have to keep that in mind. Like that energy is so powerful. So women and men being equal or lesser, I really don't do that. To me, it just, like I said, it depends on the relationship. Even if you look at 300, you know what I'm saying? The first one, what's his name? Leonidas?
Leonidas, I forgot the wife name.
His wife was just as powerful as he was. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when he died in combat, she still was capable of raising his son in the same particular fashion. Minus him. You know what I'm saying? So some men shoot for that. Some powerful men want women that can distribute the bag, keep business going, and raise the family just as he would if he was president. So that's my closeout on the men and women being equal.
Okay.
But if you got a maid or a nanny or somebody just
This what?
do basic shit, you're not in that picture no more. And I'm telling what kind of kids you gonna get out of that.
Oh man! So anything else on the subject? 100% man. You know, provider, protector. I mean, what does the protection look like, man? I like the idea of what he said. When you're 100% man, you train yourself for combat and defense, and you also train your woman. I feel like a lot of people don't do that, man. I be asking myself like, why don't y'all train y'all woman? Like, it's cool. Like, it's powerful to me. You know what I'm saying? When a woman can defend herself, and some men like to leave it up to them to be the defender 24/7. I don't look at it like that. I brought it up. I believe I brought it up before. When I get seriously involved with somebody, or I actually take to their liking, I take them to the gun range. I was like, look, I ain't gonna be there to protect you. You might as well learn how to shoot, tase, and stab a nigga. Like, and that is. I don't know why people want to play that role like the ultimate protector. Your woman can be on the other side of the fucking city, a whole different state of country. She don't know how to defend herself, except for scream for help. You didn't teach her how to defend herself. You always left it up to you to save the day and stuff like that. And then
Superhero ass.
you know, you want to be Superman, Clark Kent, Batman, whatever. But at the same time, you'll also get tested out if you're not strong, if you don't understand your woman. Women can be the reason why you get into fights. Right? Let's say, put it like this. What's the word I want to what's the word I would say? Start with an L. They want something L. Not liberty. Damn. Can't think of it right now. Okay, let me just tell a story, right? Let's say I'm on a date, right? A woman, she's dressed sexy, a little bit of revealing. You know what I'm saying? In a situation, she might walk to the restroom. I might be sitting down wherever we're at, whether at the dining table or something. And a man might approach her and she might be like, nah, you know, I want to date her or something with that. You know, disrespect comes into the picture.
Yeah, he grab her by the arm.
He grab her by the arm, or he might touch her inappropriately. Now you're in a situation where you got to defend for your woman. You know, and that's what's that. It's, you can keep situations like that intact if the woman is not so much revealing. And sometimes some women just have a natural type of approach to a point whereas they're not really revealing their body, but they're so pretty that men are still going to approach them and disrespect them. So you're still going to have to learn how to defend and protect your woman. That's what protect, provide, and produce. Those are the three main things you'll need to know, be able to do as a 100% man.
Man, shit, dude. That's deep.
Oh, sorry.
The only reason I say it's deep because me personally, man, like I dig it, but me, I have a little bit more free range. Like I give them a little bit more free range just to show a little bit more. For one, I like the way it look. Two, it's like
no, but I'm saying in case of situation,
right, but I guess me, I like the fact that I enjoy letting people be themselves.
Be themselves, huh?
Yeah, you know, like
just hawk your girl.
No, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the chick.
Okay, I'm
like, be like, right,
yeah. Fuck it, yeah.
But no, I like letting women be themselves. It's an amazing process to see how they express themselves. I take the same approach with my daughter up until a certain extent. It's like
I'm saying it's a certain extent for everything.
You know how you try to express yourself, but at the same time, like we're saying, some men teach their women how to also protect themselves. And I never forget one time I went to a class to get my handgun license, and it was a white male teaching the class, and he said with his family they did family drills with dry ammunition, with weapons, just in case an invader came into the home. The kids knew what to do. They did drills.
Drills.
They went to their favorite restaurants. They knew where all the exits were. They knew what to do just in case somebody came in there on some bullshit. So he trained his whole family to have the military mind that he had. So some men want to be the cape guy, save the day, right? But you only as strong as what you go home to.
What you produce.
So if you produce military-minded children and you have a military-minded woman, that makes you that more powerful in defending yourself and defending your family, because everybody has a role. You look at the movie Get Out, when homie tried to escape at the end. Mm-hmm. The daughter knew how to shoot. The mother,
the best shooter.
The mother was into psychology.
The hypnotist.
And the father was a doctor, surgeon. And then you had the brother, he knew jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So it's like the family attacked on so many different angles. To get out of that house, you had to work for it.
Mentally.
And then if everything crashed, they had the black grandpa that could run
he wasn't even grandpa, man.
But he could run 100 miles an hour. It's just to hawk your ass down.
They said they attacked you mentally, medically, physically, and then just I'd say like psychology, right there. Because what people don't understand, like fights is really like psychology.
Cerebral.
Is cerebral? Yeah, it's like it's really cerebral. Like the reason why people are able to fight longer than others because they know how to talk to themselves in the fight. You know what I'm saying? That's why when people be like, I don't talk to myself, like I wouldn't trust you. Like conversations to yourself can help you improve. It can harm you, but it can also help improve you. That's why one of the podcasters I want to do, throw it out there, is negative advice also positive advice. Meaning at the same time, you sometimes preparing for the worst things makes you get prepared on a positive note. Like if I fear being robbed all the time, and then I start taking classes on how to defend myself, you know what I'm saying? It's right there.
Yeah, it's a little hard to take my shit.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like sometimes when you prepare for the worst things, that really accelerates some people's life. And some people used to be like, "Yo, man, if the world ended, what would I do?" Like people start having like canned food, dry foods. Like it's the most traumatic things they ever feared. They would prepare themselves for it instead of being always positive. Sometimes it's okay to be negative and prepare yourself for it. God, I'm doing
yeah, we're gonna cut this, man. We're gonna cut this, man. It's gonna be a long one. We're gonna cut this, man. I'll leave it alone, man. I'll leave it alone. That's a good one. You got anything else on that?
Man, nah, man. Get to 100%, man. Pussy.
All right, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, comment, subscribe to the platform. Continue to grow with us as we grow. We out.
Peace.
They ain't gon' shoot for real. Call up Milwaukee, grab his Glock and he gon' shoot to kill.